Hey guys, welcome on in. Kyrios here, and today we have a new event that's coming, which is the cooking event. Now, I did experience this way back in the day when I was playing on the CN version. I don't have a lot of early footage of it, but I do recall a decent amount of it. And there's one thing I hope they do that they have not been doing that we're going to cover right away in the beginning of this video. So make sure you like and subscribe. Check out our Tower of Fantasy playlist, and let's get started. All right, guys, let's get started. Now, you can see that Tower of Fantasy just tweeted out that we have the new Aida Cafe event. Now, there's some pretty interesting rewards in there, from some red nucleus to some SSR shards to some red limited proofs of purchases and some unique chat bubbles and icons as well. Now, there's one thing I do want to say. Let me flash up on screen essentially what the CN version had, which ours is slightly different. So for the CN version, they had the SSR gadget shards. They had the 5 chip pulls, but those were regular pulls. They had 5 golden pulls, so not red nucleus pulls, but 5 golden pulls, about 3,500 gold, the limited chat bubble and profile icon. But here's the biggest kicker. They got 1,000 black crystals. That's right, 1,000 black crystals. So there's one thing before we talk about this event real quick, there's one thing I wanted to cover, and I really want Tower of Fantasy, if you see my video, you really should be giving our free-to-play community at least the same rewards going forward. So hopefully we get this, guys. If we get it, just skip on forward. If we don't get it, there's one thing I want to show is that I'm over here on my CN account right now, which, by the way, the new Veracity looks absolutely gorgeous. But if we go to any event, and they actually have a New Year event going on right now, where it's very similar, and we'll compare it in a little bit, where you have your own cookbook, and you have to create different recipes in order to gift it to these individuals. Now, the one thing, and then you can see all the rewards that are here too: the red nuclei, the gachapon, the upgrade materials, the SSR shards, 20 of them. And those unique chat bubbles and everything like that. Let's see if we can find it. Okay, so whenever there's a brand new event, or in the other one just ended, they usually overlap with each other. This seems very familiar, right? We got the 10 free summons. Cool. This is actually like 7, 8, 9, 10 free red nucleus summons. But this is what they do on every single event. They give you 1,000 black crystals, or the currency, the premium currency. And I don't know why so far we have not been getting that. This really hurts your free-to-play ingress of currency that your free-to-play community really needs. I mean, to be fair, like, you're not going to be able to pull every banner as a free-to-play, but you should be getting somewhere around 5,000 to 6,000 crystals a month. So that, you know, because a pity's 15,000 technically, right? If you had to go to 120, so that you can pull essentially a banner every 2.5 months. That's usually about right for the course. And if we were getting these gifts right here, you would definitely be able to do it. So this is a little bit of hope for me that going forward that they're going to be able to do that. So let's just cover the event real quick. All right. So I don't have any in-game footage of this. I'm about to go log over and show you the locations of the new items that you're going to have to get there. But you can see here that they give you a sneak peek. So, for example, there's going to be a character there that's going to request some food from you, right? They're coming to your cafe. So here we have Zero right there. Now, Zero gives you a hint. No black truffles. No black truffles. That means you cannot give him any food with any black truffles. Now, for this event, you really want to use almost nothing but the new foods that are out there. I'll flash it up on screen here now, where you can see these new foods from the cookbook that you can find on the right hand side, just the same as you can with the event that's going on here. You'll have that cookbook that's on the right hand side that will tell you how to make every single recipe. There's going to be a different one for global. I'm sorry, this is in Chinese. This is all I have to show. The point is that you're supposed to try and get as many points as you can a day. Now, every item you put on here gives you anywhere between 5 to 10 points if you get it right. So the minimum you can get if you put 5 items in there is 25. The maximum you can get is 50. Now, not every single one of these items is worth a maximum of 10 points. So you'll typically get anywhere, if you do this correctly, anywhere between 40 to 50 points, somewhere in that range. Now, you do have to craft these new recipes that we are showing on screen right now. Let me show you where to get some of those new items, like the sugar cubes and the new hog and stuff like that. So let's go around and I'll show you the locations where those are. All right, first one up is the sugar cubes. Now, these enemies are not going to drop it for me because I'm playing this ahead of time, and this isn't old footage that I unfortunately didn't record for that event. But any of the enemies here by this ship on your map in Crown, if you guys have been playing the game, you know exactly where this is. If you kill any of these enemies right here have a chance to drop the sugar cube. I'm fairly sure it's almost 100% chance. So if you need sugar, you come over here, you make you grab as much sugar as you can, you'll farm it up a little bit, and then move on to the next farming location. All right, the next one are the apples. Now, the apples you can find from any location where you see fallen fruit, and there's a lot of fallen fruit on Astra, the beginning zone, but there's some other zones and bangs and everywhere else. I'm sure you guys have seen a ton of fallen fruit by trees. Now, as you can see, this is very hard to see, so I'm going to give you my big tip. Big tip! All right, if you guys go into the settings, make sure when you're doing an event like this, when you especially have to pick things up, go to display, go to advanced settings, and turn your vegetation detail down to low. It's going to help with trying to see as much as you can on your screen. So if we go back here, you can see I can much more readily see those items, and they're a lot easier to pick up. Now, those apples will just be scattered around. As you can see, there's not apples right now, but that's where you would find the apples. All right, next new item we have is the hog's meat. Now, this one's pretty straightforward as well. You'll find a lot of this all around Astra. You can find a lot of them by the dome over here, but you can find them everywhere on bangs and stuff like that. All you gotta do is kill these hogs right here, these wild boars, and they have a chance to drop that in addition to what they drop on top of that. So that's where you're gonna get the hog's meat from. All right, the next one you're gonna get is the chicken, and the chicken actually drops from these elite big mobs right there. Who, as if you guys didn't know, another little pro tip: if you sit here, he puts on a performance. I wonder what kind of dance that is. Interesting. But yeah, the chicken drops from those elite mobs. A lot of them you'll find at these encampments, these small strongholds, and also the rat's den also has them. So if you kill these mobs right here, they have a chance to drop it, and so you'll have to go around, do a little bit of farming on that one. All right, next up we have the sesame seeds. Now, the sesame seeds can be found anywhere on essentially Rain Color Island. This is a little bit from memory, so once again, I will make a follow-up video if any of this changes, but you can find them while trying to get brown rice and a bunch of these other materials on the side of the mountain here, from cocoa beans to potatoes to brown rice. So make sure you turn that vegetation detail down so you can see everything, and then you'll just do some loop-de-loops in order to grab as much as you can from the ground, and that's where they should be scattered. All right, next up we have the grapes. Now, these ones are actually kind of hard to track down, but my favorite area still, again, is on Rain Color Island. There's a couple. You want to go to all these different encampments, and they'll typically have a decent amount, but what you're looking for are these mobs right here. What are they? The Ravager Assaulter Elite. I guess that's his name, but they have a chance to drop it when you take them down. Not these other ones, not the armored Ravagers, as far as I remember, but those other elites that have those humanoid ones have a chance to drop it. Now, you'll find a majority of them up here in the main encampment at the Ravager's base, but you can also find them in some other locations like the Ravager's port as well. So that's who you're going to have to take down for the grapes. All right, finally, last but not least, you're going to have to farm some salmon. Now, I think it's called salmon, but it's the new fish type that they have. Now, these are actually such a pain to get. If you've ever farmed any kind of fish, you know it's really just going to anywhere in this area or any of these areas here and just swimming about trying to find fish as much as you can. And that your mileage may vary different than others depending on, you know, the frequency that those fish actually spawn up. You can see I'm trying to talk through this so I can find some fish here. And there's one finally over there. But you're going to have to just go run around these aisles and try and find these fish. and grab them, and that's how you're going to get it. This is probably the most annoying one to farm, and probably the one that's going to take you the most amount of time. Okay, then finally, when you're ready to go, you are going to have to cook these recipes and discover them. So you're going to have to go down to creation, and you're going to have to throw in what you need to do, right? Whether it's I don't know what the Chinese names of a lot of those recipes are, but I'm flashing on screen now. Whether it's putting in honey and then brown rice and then throwing in some sugar, which, you know, obviously I do not have. But make sure, as a pro tip, you want to make sure that you do not use a lot of the limited resource to learn the recipe. So if you have like a ton of brown rice or a ton of honey, which I bet everyone has a ton of honey, just throw that in there almost to the limit, just so when you cook it, you have that chance to get it. And then once you have it, you can just create it at any time. All right, quickly, I want to plug this real quick. Apparently, there is someone did the research in the Chinese version, so please take this a little bit with a grain of salt. They may change it slightly in the global version. But someone did put down the maximum that you can get on almost every single character and what they're looking for. So maybe experiment with this a little bit if you guys can. And I'll experiment too. And I'll give you guys my results as soon as humanly possible when we get the event. But I'll put the link in the description down here. You can see Claudia, 𝙀𝙓𝙋𝘼𝙉𝘿. Where was that? Where was that 0, right? Like 0 was the example we had. Like, listen, he wants no mushrooms. So you put some barbecue meat on there, some pan-fried salmon, turkey and beet soup, some gingerbread, and a strawberry iced soda, which, by the way, that brings up a really good point. You can only put certain items in certain spots because it's like a full meal, right? From an appetizer to a dinner to a dessert to a beverage. So you'll see that across the board, and that's how you balance your points. All right, guys, that was pretty long-winded. I don't know how I get these videos any shorter. I'm just super long-winded. Let me know in the comments down below if you hope that they give us those 1,000 black crystals, I guess. And make sure you like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. And fist bump from me to you.